Hello students, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be explaining about the 13th chapter in your English course book, Where There Is a Wheel, written by P. Sainath. So before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time, or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. And also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So the chapter's name is Where There Is a Wheel, and it is written by P. Sainath, Palagumi Sainath. Now let us see a few points about the author. P. Sainath is an Indian journalist and photojournalist. So he is a journalist and he focuses mainly on social problems, rural affairs, poverty, aftermaths of globalization, etc. in India. So he mainly writes about social problems in India, rural affairs, that is village affairs, about poverty, about the aftermath, that is the bad effects or good and bad effects of globalization. All these things he mainly focuses on, and he's a journalist. And he writes for the Telegraph in Kolkata, and he also writes for the Front Line and the Daily Business Line in Chennai. So he writes for newspapers and books because he is a journalist. And this essay which you have to learn, that is Where There Is a Wheel, this is taken from his book Everybody Loves a Good Draught. That is a book's name. This essay is a part of this book Everybody Loves a Good Draught. So now let us directly move into the chapter and see what P. Sainath is trying to tell here. So the chapter's name is, as I told you, Where There Is a Wheel. So here the author is trying to tell about the changes brought in the life of rural women of Pudukkottai, changes which came in the life of rural women of a place called as Pudukkottai. Pudukkottai is a place in Tamil Nadu, and this change was brought because of mainly cycling. Okay, so that is why the chapter's name is Where There Is a Wheel. Wheel refers to the cycle wheel. So the changes which was brought in the life of rural women after they learnt cycling, that is how he is trying, that is what he is trying to say here. And he also tries to say how these rural women defied the challenges in life, that is how they overcame the challenges in life. So rural women had to face a lot of problems in life, and how they overcame all these challenges. They had so many limitations in life. They were controlled by men, but even though after learning cycling, they were able to overcome many of these challenges. So that is what P. Sainath is trying to tell in this chapter, Where There Is a Wheel. So now let us see sentence by sentence the points which the author is telling. So here let us see Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu. So the place, the incident or the movement is happening in Pudukkottai in Tamil Nadu. Cycling as a social movement. So the first sentence is like a question. Cycling. How can cycling be a social movement? Can it be? Sounds far-fetched. This idea only sounds far-fetched. Far-fetched means it sounds unlikely. Unlikely, or it sounds impossible. Cycling as a social movement, it sounds unlikely or it sounds impossible. Perhaps, but not all that far. But then he is thinking and telling perhaps, maybe, but it is not that impossible. Why? Not to tens of thousands of new literate rural women in Pudukkottai district. It is not impossible, it is not unlikely, it is not impossible for tens of thousands of rural women in a place called as Pudukkottai. People find ways sometimes curious ones, of hitting out at their backs, of expressing defiance, of hammering at the fetters that hold them. So now he is telling that people find sometimes curious ones, people find ways, sometimes curious ones. What is curious ones? Curious ones means sometimes people find out strange ways, okay, sometimes strange ways of hitting out at their backwardness. So sometimes people find strange ways to overcome the backwardness which they are having, of expressing defiance, or sometimes strange ways they will express their defiance, they will show their resistance in very strange ways, of hammering at the fetters that hold them, or they will show strange ways to break the chain which control them. Okay, hammering the fetters. Hammering means, what is hammer used for? Hammer is used for breaking. Hammering at the fetters. Fetters means chain. Okay, so they find strange ways either for resisting or for breaking the chain which are controlling them, or to overcome their backwardness, backwardness. So sometimes people find very curious or strange ways for all these things. That is what the women of Pudukkottai did. They found a very strange way to overcome their backwardness. They found a very strange way for expressing their defiance or resistance, and they found a strange way to break the chain which was controlling them, and that strange way was nothing other than cycling. Okay, so that is what the author is trying to say in the first paragraph. Cycling as a social movement sounds far-fetched, perhaps, but not all that far, not to tens of thousands of neo-literate rural women in Pudukkottai district. So it was not unlikely for tens of thousands of neo-literates. I forgot to tell that word, neo-literates. Neo-literates are newly educated. Neo means new. So newly educated, new literates, okay, those who were newly educated. These women were newly educated, and for them it was not very unlikely that cycling cannot be a social movement. So it was not unlikely for tens of thousands of neo-literate rural women in Pudukkottai district. People find ways, sometimes curious ones, of hitting out at their backwardness, of expressing defiance, of hammering at the fetters that hold them. Now let us move on to the next paragraph. In the next paragraph, here the author is telling, in this one of India's poorest districts. Now he is telling about Pudukkottai. So Pudukkottai is one of India's poorest districts. So poorest districts. Cycling seems the chosen medium for rural women. So here in this place of Pudukkottai, cycling was a chosen medium. So they found out their way in cycling. It was a chosen medium for rural women. During the past 18 months, so it was in the past or in the last 18 months, over 1 lakh rural women, okay, almost 1 lakh rural women, most of them neo-literates, have taken to bicycling as a symbol of independence, freedom and mobility. So in the last 18 months, almost 1 lakh rural women, mostly neo-literates, most of them were newly educated, they had taken into cycling. And for them, cycling was a symbol. It was a symbol of what? It was a symbol of independence, it was a symbol of freedom, and it was a symbol of mobility. Mobility means movement, easy movement. So for almost 1 lakh neo-literate women, cycling was a symbol of independence, freedom and mobility. So that was a very important point which P. Sainath is trying to say. If we exclude girls below 10 years of age, it would mean that over 1/4 of all rural women have learned cycling. So if we take if we take out the girls below 10 years of age, almost 1/4 of all the rural women have learned cycling. and over 70,000 of these women had taken part in public exhibition cum contest. Not only that they have learned cycling, it is said that over 70,000 of them, over 70,000 of these women have taken part in public exhibition cum contest. Public exhibition cum contest, that is some competitions and all they have participated to proudly display their new skill. So in this public exhibition and contest, what they will do, they will display their new skill. And what is their new skill? Their new skill is cycling. They were very proud to exhibit their new skill. And still the training camps and desire to learn continue. Even even after all these things, training camps are also continuing where they get training in cycling. So this almost 1/4 of the rural women have already learned cycling, and in that 70,000 have taken part in public exhibition cum contest, and there they display their new skill, and still training camps and desire to learn is continuing. So that much importance cycling got in the district of Pudukkottai. Now let us move on. In the heart of rural Pudukkottai, a young woman zip along the roads on their bicycles. So now in Pudukkottai, the scene is very common. Okay, Pudukkottai, as we have already said, it is a very rural, a poor place. In the heart of rural Pudukkottai, young women zip along the roads on their bicycle. It is a common scene that young women go fast, move fast on their bicycles. Jamila Bibi, who had taken to cycling, told me. So now a lady called as Jamila Bibi, who had taken to cycling, he is telling to this journalist, it's my right. See, she said that it's her right to learn cycling. And one more thing, we can go anywhere. That is, I told you it was a symbol of freedom. So that means they can go anywhere after they have learned cycling. Now I don't have to wait for bus. So that shows how it had increased their mobility. They don't need to wait for bus. It helps them to move anywhere. I know people made dirty remarks when I started cycling, but I paid no attention. So she said that I know when I started cycling, when a woman started to do cycling in this village, she said that I knew that people made dirty remarks. People talked unwanted things about me. But I did not pay attention. I did not pay any attention to that. I continued what I had to do. So that was Jamila Bibi's opinion about cycling. She said that it is her right. She can go anywhere. She doesn't need to wait for the bus. Even though people started making bad remarks about her when she started cycling, she did not pay attention to all those things, and she continued to do cycling. Next, another woman, that is Fatima. Okay, Fatima, she was a secondary school teacher. She was so addicted to cycling that she hires a bicycle for half an hour each evening. So she is so addicted to cycling. Okay, she is so interested, she is so addicted to cycling. What she does is she hires, she takes a bicycle for rent. She hires bicycle for half an hour each evening. Hires for half an hour each evening. She cannot yet afford to buy one each, cost over rupees 1200. She still cannot afford to buy a bicycle because a bicycle that time costed over 1200, and that is why even though she was not able to buy one, she was so addicted that she hires a bicycle half an hour every evening, and she roams around on that cycle. She said there is a freedom in cycling. She also said that there is a special freedom in cycling. We are not dependent on anyone now. So every woman had the same opinion. We are not dependent on anyone now. I can never give this up. I will never give this up. I will continue to do cycling. So that is what Fatima, a secondary school teacher, she was so addicted to cycling that she hires a bicycle half an hour every evening. She still cannot afford to buy one, and she said that there is a freedom in cycling. We are not dependent on anyone now, and I can never give up cycling. That much she was interested in doing cycling. Now Jamila, Fatima, all these women of Pudukkottai, Jamila, Fatima and their friend Avakani, all in their early 20s, have trained scores of other young women from their community in the art of cycling. So we said about Jamila, we said about a secondary school teacher Fatima and their friend Avakani. All of these women, all are in their early 20s, very young women. They have given training. They were given training. They trained scores of other young women. Scores means many other young women. They trained other young women from their community in the art of cycling. They gave training to many other women in the art of cycling because they knew that how much freedom cycling is giving. That is why they wanted other women also to learn how to do cycling. Now cycling has swept across this district. Cycling has swept across. Swept across means it has spread quickly. The idea of cycling had spread very quickly in this district. Now there are many women who are interested in cycling. That is, women agricultural workers, quarry laborers, village health nurses are among its fans. Now cycling has a lot of fans, or so many women were interested. Now who all were interested? One is women agricultural workers. Okay, agricultural workers, women agricultural workers. Next is quarry laborers, women who are working as quarry laborers. Then village health nurses in villages are among its fans. Now joining the rush, that is not only these women, there are other women also who are interested in cycling, that is Balwadi and Anganwadi workers, Anganwadi workers, they also are interested in cycling. Gem cutters, those who were doing gem cutting works, they were interested in cycling. School teachers, we said that Fatima was a secondary school teacher, school teachers were interested. Then again Gram Sevikas who worked in villages, then midday meal workers. So all these are the list of women who were fans of cycling or interested in cycling in the district of Pudukkottai. So the list goes on. There were women agricultural workers, quarry laborers, village health nurses, Balwadi Anganwadi workers, gem cutters and school teachers, and Gram Sevikas and midday meal workers are not far behind. All were interested to learn cycling and get the independence which it gave. Now the vast majority are those who have just become literate. So that we have already said, the majority of those who are interested in cycling are neo-literates. Neo-literates means those who were newly educated. So vast majority of those who are interested in this cycling is neo-literates, or those who were newly educated. The district's vigorous literacy drive, that is, the district is having a literacy drive, that is, they were trying to give education to as many people as possible. Literacy drive is a program of spreading awareness about education, spread education. So the district had a vigorous literacy drive, and it was led by Arivoli Iyakam. This literacy drive in Pudukkottai was led by Arivoli Iyakam. So Arivoli Iyakam is a movement, that is Light of Knowledge movement. Light of Knowledge movement. This movement is to spread education in the village of in the district of Pudukkottai. So the movement is called as Arivoli Iyakam. So this movement was going on very vigorously. So the district's vigorous literacy drive led by Arivoli Iyakam, that is Light of Knowledge movement, has been quick to tap this energy. So the movement was moving on very vigorously and it has been quick to tap this energy. Every one of the neo-literate, neo-cyclist women I spoke to saw a direct link between cycling and her personal independence. So the author is telling, P. Sainath is telling to each and every woman whom I spoke, that is, either we can tell them as neo-literates or we can tell them as neo-cyclists, because cycling also was new to them. They learned cycling also recently. So everyone I talked to, that is neo-literates or neo-cyclists, they said that there is a direct link between cycling and their personal independence. They felt that cycling had somehow had a relationship with their personal independence. That is what all the women whom he spoke to had opinion. All had the same opinion. All were telling that cycling was somehow connected to their personal independence. The main thing, said N. Kannamal. Now again he is speaking to another woman, that is N. Kannamal. So according to N. Kannamal, the main thing, and N. Kannamal is Arivoli's central coordinator. She is the central coordinator. She said that she was a pioneer in the cycling movement. She was a pioneer. Pioneer means she was one among the first to learn this cycling. So she was the first in the cycling movement. She said that the main thing was a confidence it gave to women. She said that cycling gave a lot of confidence to women. That was the opinion of N. Kannamal. So the main thing, said N. Kannamal, who was Arivoli's central coordinator and one of the pioneers of cycling movement, was the confidence it gave to women. Very importantly, it reduced their dependence. It reduced their dependence on men. That was a very important thing. Cycling, it reduced their dependence on men. Reduced dependence on men. So cycling reduced their dependence on men. That was her opinion. Now we often see a woman doing a 4-kilometer stretch on her cycle to collect water. Now we can very easily see women going at least 4 kilometers to collect water. So she can easily go it on her cycle, sometimes with her children. Sometimes she goes with her children also. Even carting provisions from other places. She can also bring provisions to collect water. She goes to bring provisions from other places and can be done on there. That also she can do on her own without depending on men. But believe me, women had to put up with vicious attacks on their character when this began. But although all these good things are said, N. Kannamal said that women had to face cruel attacks. That is, in the beginning, when they started cycling, they had to face cruel attacks from the society. People were telling unwanted things about them when they started doing cycling. So they had to face vicious attacks on their character. The people were telling her character is not good, that is why she is doing this cycling and all. So like that, they had to face a lot of attacks on their character when they began this cycling movement. But the women faced it and somehow they were very confident after learning cycling. So many made filthy remarks. So many people made filthy remarks. Filthy remarks means bad, or we can say dirty comments. Okay, dirty comments. Many made filthy remarks about them when they started to doing cycling. They had to face cruel attacks on their character. They had to face filthy, dirty remarks about them. But Arivoli gave cycling social sanction. Arivoli gave cycling a social sanction. That is, it gave a kind of a permission. It was a kind of permission which was given, and so women took it. So in Arivoli, they got a social sanction, an acceptance, and that is why women took on to cycling, and they now learned cycling. Early among them, Kannamal herself. So one of the earliest person to learn cycling was Kannamal herself. That is why she was a pioneer in cycling. Though a science graduate, now As we said about Kannammal, she was a science graduate. She was an educated woman. She is a science graduate, and she had never mustered the courage to cycle earlier. Even though she was a science graduate, she did not muster courage. That is, she did not collect, or she did not have courage to take into cycle earlier. But later, when there was a social sanction in Arivoli for cycling, she took it up, and she was one among the first to learn cycling in Arivoli. So now let us move on further. Visiting an Arivoli cycling training camp. Now the author is telling about visiting an Arivoli cycling training camp. Cycling training camp is an unusual experience. So visiting an Arivoli cycling training camp is a very unusual experience. And in Kilakurichi village, all the prospective learners had turned out in their Sunday best. So when he visited this Arivoli cycling training camp in Kilakurichi village, all the prospective learners, all the learners who had come there to learn cycling had turned out in their Sunday best. They had come in their Sunday best. Sunday best means it is the best clothes which you wear on Sunday or on a special occasion. It is good clothes. Okay, we can say that best clothes which you wear on Sunday or on any special occasion. When you go for an occasion of marriage, you wear your best clothes. So learners here had come to learn cycling in their best clothes, in their most beautiful dress which they have worn and come to learn cycling. You can't help being struck by the sheer passion of the pro cycling movement. When you come there, you will understand the passion the people is having towards cycling, passion these women are having towards cycling. And they were so much interested that with so much enthusiasm they had come to learn cycling. And it is said that they had to know, okay, cycling offered a way out of enforced routine. So they knew why they were having so much passion. Why? Because cycling offered a way out of enforced routine. Way out of enforced routine. That is, every woman had an enforced routine. That is, they had a fixed routine. And the women felt that this cycling is the only way to get out of this fixed routine. To get away from or to escape from this fixed routine, cycling is the only way. So it was the only way out of enforced routine around male imposed barriers, and women always had male imposed barriers. Barriers means it is like a fence, or it is, we can say that it is like a control. Always some male imposed or men have imposed some kind of control on women. So they had to come out of all these things, and the only way to come out of all these things according to them was cycling. Cycling was the only way out to come out of all these control. The neo-cyclist even sings songs produced by Arivoli to encourage bicycling. So they always, when they study cycling and all, they start singing songs and all. For encouraging the movement, they sing songs produced by Arivoli to encourage bicycling. One of these had lines like, "Oh sister, come learn cycling, move with the wheel of time." One song was like this, "Oh sister, come learn cycling." And the second sentence was, "Move with the wheel of time." When you move on the cycle, you have to move with the wheel of time. You have to change according to the time. You cannot sit there as you were in the older age. You have to change according to the time. That is what was said in this song, "Oh sister, come learn cycling, move with the wheel of time." Very large number of those trained have come back to help new learners. So already those who are trained, they come to help new learners. So after one has finished learning, they come to help the new learners. They work free of charge for Arivoli as oddly named master trainers. They work free of charge. They don't take any money to train these new learners. They don't take any money to train these new learners. Why? Because they were also trained for free. So they don't feel that it is correct to take money for that. So that is why they don't take any money. They work free of charge. And as oddly it is said that master trainers, they work as master trainers. There is not only a desire to learn, but a widespread perception among them that all women ought to learn cycling. See, there is a widespread perception, there is an awareness among them. They feel that everyone should learn cycling. All women ought to learn cycling. In turn, their experience has enriched the literacy movement. Their experience on this have enriched the literacy movement. The neo-cyclists are bound even more passionately than before to Arivoli. So each of them, after learning cycling, that is these neo-literates, later became neo-cyclists, they are bound more passionately with more interest than before to Arivoli. So in this video, I will be explaining only this much. The balance of this chapter, I will be explaining in the next video. So I think until this you have understood all the points. It is a very simple chapter, so I think you have understood it very clearly. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares are of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you all soon with the second part of this chapter in the next video. Thank you for watching.